Thanks so much for joining us for another edition of KFFB's Open Mic program. And we do have Dr. Keith Coward back with us now. And Dr. Keith, thanks so much for taking time and talking with us.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Well, let's talk a little bit about the seniors. You know, we got off the mic last time we talked on the air. This coronavirus is really dangerous for seniors and nursing homes. And that's why they're so critically looking at it there in Little Rock. The health department got involved. Tell us why it's so critical with the seniors.
Well, the seniors, again, we looked over the major risk factors for coronavirus are smoking, elderly, and obesity. And sometimes in a nursing home, you generally have elderly people with either extremely deconditioned, with multiple medical problems, with heart failure, dementia, COPD, renal failure, things like that. And so when a patient like that contracts a virus that, they've never seen before, it can progress very quickly and spread very quickly. Some viruses like influenza does in a nursing home. It's very important with coronavirus. Once it gets in there, it's been shown, it's been to other nursing homes like in Seattle, it's a high mortality rate. I mean, probably, I would say well over 50%, 60, 70% of the seniors in a nursing home that die once they get it.
So it's very serious. I see why we're telling Arkansans, especially the seniors, stay home and wash their hands often. And if they do pick up something at the store, be very, very careful because it spreads 3 times faster than the flu.
Yes, there's different numbers they come up with that. Very contagious in an unimmunized population. It's definitely very contagious.
Now, what steps should a senior do? What would you think of a nursing home? I know they locked it down many weeks ago, and we thought that was kind of drastic, but the numbers you're telling me, yes, it's a scary, scary situation for the nursing homes.
Yes, it is. They've locked down not only visitors, family, but they've locked down providers, doctors, and nurse practitioners who go in and see them. And so right now, we're seeing patients via FaceTime or telemedicine and trying to take care of issues that way. Just because most of us in our county who sees nursing home patients also have a private clinic. And if we get exposed and inadvertently bring it into the nursing home, it would be a good situation. And they're basing this data on what they found in Seattle. Once it got into one nursing home, the provider there inadvertently took it to 2 more nursing homes, I believe. And that's why if you look at the death rate in Washington, it's always been a lot higher than everybody else, but it just got in other states because it got in those nursing homes and had very high mortality.
That's why we even look at in Cleveland County, it got into a church and it can go like wildfire. It's got nothing to do with the nursing home or the church. It's got to do with this virus that is so contagious that the government did a lockdown basically and much of the visitation of the nursing homes right away. And you're also doing the same precautions with your clinics. Tell us a little bit about the precautions you've taken with your clinics.
Yeah, sure will, Bob. Our clinic in Fairfield Bay is a well clinic. And meaning if you're going to review lab, get blood drawn, come in, without any fever or respiratory illness, then you come in there. But also we're keeping the waiting rooms down very low in our clinic. Basically, we're pulling people once they come in back to a room and the waiting room is practically empty. Even at Clinton, which is our sick clinic. If you do have a fever, you do have a cough, you do have a runny nose, you're not feeling well, you go to that clinic. But that clinic will screen you, even if we think you got it or not. We're going to bring you right back into a room, and where there's hardly anybody sitting in the waiting rooms since we made this change last week.
Now, what would you say to that senior, those that are 65 and over? What advice would you give to them now? You don't have to be fearful. You just have to take precaution.
No, here's what I would suggest. First of all, you got to watch being around large crowds. So I think the danger zones for seniors going to the grocery store would be one. That's the potential danger zone. So if you can find your family, church family, or friends, don't have the risk factors of being elderly, to go make these grocery store runs for you. But the second thing I would advise people is to get out of the house. On pretty days, you need to get out and walk. You need to go out and do some exercises while you're inside. Do your yoga. Stay mentally active, because being inside for prolonged periods of time is not going to do you mentally good. I know we've had a lot of rain over the past several weeks, but when the temperature's good and the sun's out, you need to stop what you're doing and get outside, enjoy the outside, get in the sunshine, and walk and hike and even play golf. Don't ride with somebody if you're a senior. Ride alone. Take a lot of wipes, wipe the steering wheel down. Do not touch the flag stick. I think, playing golf with your fellow senior who is not ill, I think would be something that's good now. I know the governor come out saying doing outdoors things that doesn't increase close proximity to others is a good thing to do.
Well, we appreciate you taking time and talking with us. So seniors, remember all those things we've been saying on the radio. Wash those hands. Don't touch your face. Don't get within 6 feet of people, and let's kill this thing.
Yes. And hopefully in the next couple of weeks, this is a important one-time shot on the curve. And hopefully with all the precautions we've taken as a nation, at least hopefully here in Arkansas, we will not get an overwhelmingly amount where we can start backing off this sooner than later. But unfortunately, other areas of the country, this will be probably going on for months.
Well, thanks so much for taking time and talking with us, Dr. Coward.
You're welcome, Bob.
And this is Timeless 106.1 KFFB. This program note, Fox News Live, top of every hour, 24 hours a day. Bottom the hour on your way to work, on your way to lunch, and on your way home. And some of you are at home. It's always when you're home. Bottom of the hour, Fox News update, followed by the Arkansas Radio Network with state and regional news, and KFFB Today with Dale Gardner, local news for you. Our whole staff pretty much has been working from home, and we have a emergency situation going on where we try to stay at distance. So they all work from home, from Darren, James, to Gina, to Carl, to Jeff, all of our team. Dale, everybody works from somewhere all over our region. So one thing we got to mention, that you are encouraged to stay home if you don't have to get out to do so. And we are really seeing a curve on this, I really believe. I thought that was really good news when there was only 9 new cases in Arkansas. So I applaud all those that have to get out there. I even seen the garbage men this morning, and I gave them a big thumbs up. I appreciate everybody doing their part. And we're going to whip this. Also, I appreciate the businesses that are pushing on, talking about how they're here to serve you. Remember those hairdressers and barbers and massage therapists and tattoo parlors. They work on their own. When you're a small business, it's all on you. There is no government help. You don't get a check when you get unemployed. So maybe it's a good time for us to think about buying a gift certificate for later use. Give them some support that way too. And nothing better than just giving a phone call, email, or text saying thanks for supporting the cause. Also, we'd like to remind everybody, this will go past. We'll get through this. We were there during 9/11, and they thought the world was going to come to an end, and America was strong. We were there back in the bad day of the Black Monday, was 1987. And I've stated this before. Sam Walton said, it's just paper when he lost millions, maybe even $1 billion. We'll have to look that up. Well, we invite you to stay tuned to KFFB. We are here as your news and information station, as well as being Arkansas's timeless favorite station. Google it. Google agrees. Thanks for joining us here on KFFB. Stay tuned for the news.